Hello friends, I hope you all had a great weekend. I do have about 45 orders to pull today, so I'm going to jump in pretty quickly here. I do have a couple pairs of shoes though I want to show you real quick. If you remember in my last video I said I dropped a bin at Uptown Cheapskate, but I was going to have to go back the next day to pick it up and see what they were going to give me. So what they gave me was, so Uptown Cheapskate lets you take cash or store credit. The cash is always a lesser amount. So if I wanted cash, it was going to be $42 for 13 items, which that's a little bit under $4 per piece. I want to be like more closer to the $5 mark. So I did take store credit this day because I found two pairs of shoes I wanted to buy. So I got $52.50 instead of the $42. So I used that towards these, and then you automatically get 10% off for selling, but I had a coupon on my account this day for 20% off, so I just went ahead and used that. So after that, I still owed an additional $10.69 out of pocket. So basically my cost of goods on these two pairs of shoes I'm going to show you was $10.69 plus the cost of 13 bins items, which I do not weigh the bin every single time anymore, but you can assume probably maybe like 20 bucks is what I had into those 13 items. So probably not much. So let's say I have about $15 into each pair of shoes. These ones are a pair of Birkenstock. So basically you can disregard the actual prices on these since I just kind of broke down how much I actually paid out of pocket. So I would have definitely paid $15 for these at any other thrift store. These are new at tag, just no box, and comps on these are 70 to 80 bucks. So those should do really well. And then this was a new to me brand. The only reason I even like looked them up is because I know this like super chunky style is in. And yeah, so they just looked interesting. I don't know. I mean, would you guys have looked these up if you just saw them on the shelf there? I never heard of the brand. It is Naked Wolf. But once I looked it up, I was like, wow. Definitely getting these. The comps were, most of them were over 100 bucks pre-owned. And then I looked retail, and the retail was about $285, I think, something like that, if you bought these brand new off their website. Yeah, I saw this exact pair sold pre-owned for like $170, although they did have the box with them. So I don't know. I think I can probably get close to 150 bucks for these. So 15 into 150, 15 into 75 or so. I'm really excited about those finds. Yeah, so let's just jump into the sales now. And let me know if you guys have heard of Naked Wolf. I did a poll on my Instagram, and I think it was about 90-10, like 10% of people that answered my poll had heard of it. Okay. This first sale was a really good one. If you guys didn't know, I think I bumped the camera with this. I don't know if it like went like this. If you guys saw that, that's why. Barn coats, chore coats, things like that are really in right now. Honestly, I feel like they've always kind of been in, but I feel like they're extra in right now. Anyways, so this one is LL Bean. The brand is kind of, doesn't actually matter. If you find something this style, I would grab it. This I did pay $25 for just because I knew that this was in. And yeah, I'm glad I did though. This one sold for $91.16 on eBay, so that's really awesome. I would definitely pick that up again. And I feel like stuff like this, if you guys are going to garage sales this summer, I feel like I always find stuff like this at garage sales, so be on the lookout. All right, headed to box FP. Don't mind the mess in Chris's office a little. I left the door open because Reese is in there sleeping, so I didn't want him to feel like he was like trapped in there with neither of us. So in case he wakes up and wants to come out, he can. All right, this is Lululemon, the metal vent tee. I believe I found this at Goodwill for $5.99. It sold on eBay for $20.97. EI. A pair of Toms, just a slip-on shoe. These are from the bins. They sold for $17.97 on eBay. Toms is a shoe I'll pick up at the bins, but usually not at the regular thrift anymore unless it's like maybe $5 or less and like very, very good condition. FL. I'm a little sad, but I probably should stop picking up Scentsy Buddies. These used to sell really well, but every one I've sold recently has been like 10 bucks or less. This dino, I did get it at the bins, but it sold for $5.97 on eBay, so probably not worth my time, but I just think they're so cute. I should go check comps like high to low and see if there are any specifically that sell for a really, really good amount. That's what I always do with Jellycats, because some of them go for crazy amounts and then most of them go for like 10 to 15 bucks. Okay, ES. I remembered when I was organizing my labels, there was 2 in this box. First one are these Cole Haan fisherman sandals. You guys probably saw me find these at a Goodwill recently for 10 bucks. I said the comps were around 50 and they were. Somebody offered me 35 though, so I did accept, mostly because when I went to list these, they are slightly separating a little bit from the rubber and the leather. So yeah, I wanted to move them quickly and still make some decent profit versus waiting out a $50 hopeful sale. I don't know if I would have got 50 since I didn't know about those flaws when I bought them. Honestly, if I saw those flaws when I bought them, I probably wouldn't have bought them. So 35 still great. I make, what is that, $28, so about an $18 profit on those. And then this is just the brand A&A. I got this from the bins because I wanted to try it on. Did not love it for me, listed it and sold it for $11.36. This is an American Girl doll Bitty Baby accessory. It's like a little, just like a tiny book and then a little jacket thing. So this is from the bins. It weighs about an ounce. It's sold on eBay for $15.16. I think that's great. Pair of women's Patagonia like hemp shorts. These I got from Whatnot, so let's say around $5 and into $24 with discount shipping on Poshmark. ES. This is the brand 41 Hawthorne. I usually only buy this if it's new at tag, which this dress was. I'm glad I grabbed this at the bins. It sold on Posh for $29. I think that's pretty good. EH. This I just dug out of my death pile a week or 2 ago and it sold really quick. So I'm glad I grabbed this from the bins. The brand is Andy. It's like a bikini. I never heard of the brand, but I rarely find 2 pieces of swim at the bin, so I felt like I had to get it. And yeah, it did sell for $32 someone offered me. I was very happy to accept that. EQ. This is a very basic Roxy like t-shirt. This is from the bins. I thought that Plato's might buy this. They didn't. So I listed it. It sold for $12 with discount shipping. Okay. Got a Jose Bank men's plaid button-up shirt. This is from the bins. Sold for $11.35 on eBay. Okay, we're headed in here. So I'm headed to FU. This is just a very basic floral shirt, and the brand is Style & Co., which is not generally a brand I would look out for. I think this was a plus size, maybe a 2X. And I just thought it would be an easy listing, which it was. The colors are still very vibrant. I thought somebody would like the shirt. And I guess somebody did. So it sold on eBay for $10.76, which I think is okay for a pretty basic shirt. Okay. GG. This is a Talbot's button-up shirt. Reese's right here behind the camera. With lemon print all over it. And this sold on eBay for $22.76, so I think that's really, really good. I got it from the bins. You want to come in here, Reese? Come in. Come in. Hi, Buster. Hi. How was your nap? Oh, big stretch. Good boy. All right. GT. We got a pair of men's Polo Ralph Lauren, like a 4XB, so big and tall size swim trunk from the bins. $21.25 on those. I think that's great. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Our kids have like a little mat that they do some taekwondo practice, and Reese is like walking all over it, and it kind of makes a loud sound. This is a Nike Olympics hat, and I got this from the bins. Somebody offered me 12 on Posh. I did just go ahead and accept. Comps weren't that great when I looked it up. I thought I might get like 15 bucks for it, so 12 was great, and I moved it pretty quickly. I did a personal closet clean out a week or two ago and then listed all of the stuff that I no longer wanted from my closet. So this is one of them. The brand is Aviator Nation, so definitely a BOLO. And I'm still actually making some profit off this. I bought this off eBay. I think I had my cost of goods at $65.73. One day I went to like an eBay like meetup in town, and sometimes they, you know, they always have like little merch or something. Sometimes they even have gift cards. So this one I went to, it was like a random amount gift card, like a surprise. Like everyone at the table got one, but they were anywhere from like, I think $5 to $50. And I just looked out and got a $50 one, which I used to buy this for myself. So yeah, my out-of-pocket cost for this was $65.73. I wore this a ton of times and then sold it on Posh for $100. Somebody offered me this morning. I was so happy to accept. So I'm making back $80 in cash. So what's that? Almost a $15 profit still after getting a lot of wear out of it. Now maybe I'll buy myself another one. Just kidding, I don't need to do that. All right, GG. This is just a Woolrich flannel shirt from the bins. Someone offered me $19 on Posh. I was very happy to accept. Apparently everything is in GG. These are some Flux trainer sneakers. These, I like selling this brand. These I got from Plato's not that long ago. They had them priced at $14, but I did use a $10 off coupon that day, so I paid $4 out of pocket. I remember this because they actually had two pairs of these. Well, one was like a different style, but same brand. And this happens to me so often at Plato's. It's like super frustrating, but what can you do? I don't know how their back room looks, but they can never find the match. So they have one out on the floor, and then when they go in the back to find it, they can never find it. So I was not able to get the second pair, but that's okay. So anyways, I paid $4 out of pocket for these. Someone offered me $50 on Posh, so that was great. They did take my number and said they'll call me when they find it, but they never called me. So either they never found it or they were never going to call me. That's okay. Every time I stop in Plato's, I usually find at least one good pair to resell. GL. A pair of Hey Dudes. These ones are from the bins. These sold for $22.76 plus shipping on eBay. Reese does not know what to do with his soap. This is Patagonia. So these are called the stand-up short. If you guys ever find these, they sell really, really well. Usually like close to 50 bucks. I found these at the bins. I don't know if the pictures on the screen are showing you, but these have a ton of stains on them. And they still sold on eBay for $34.97, which I think is so, so good. considering their condition. But yeah, definitely, you know, these seem pretty basic, but this is a really, really good Patagonia item to look for. GP. A little Bluey plush. This is from the bins. Sold for $6.43 on eBay. Do you guys like Bluey? That was not really a one when my kids were little enough to watch that kind of stuff, so I never actually watched it, but I always hear it's a really cute one. All right, we are headed to the last row. All right, starting in box B. Pretty basic Eddie Bauer, just like plaid button-up shirt. This one sold on eBay for $11.97. I did get it from the bins. CJ. Pair of FloJo's men's flip-flops from the bins. These sold for $10.77. Got a pair of Gap Fit jogger pants. These are from the bins. Yeah, they sold for $11.97 on eBay. Sorry, Reese distracted me. Hey, Bubba. All right, AO. Pair of men's Lucky Brand. These are like a black pant, not quite a jean. Maybe they're jeans. It doesn't really matter. A pair of men's Lucky Brand black pants sold on eBay for $14.97. From the bins is where I got those. Right, CO. Okay, we got a George brand, so Walmart plaid button-up shirt from the bins. This one sold for $6.57. Why? Pair of women's Croc sandals from the bins. Somebody offered me $35 on Posh. I thought that was really great. AH. We have a Woolrich women's, like a corduroy vest. I thought this would do a lot better, like 25 to 30, and it finally sold for $6.57 after a very long time, so you just never know. Okay, AW. Another thing I thought would sell for quite a bit more. And quite a bit faster, but that's okay. I think I've had this close to a year. It's Vineyard Vines, like a skirt, new attack, and it finally sold for $18.87 on eBay. So yeah, I thought this would go for like $40. That's okay. It's still some profit. These also took a while to sell. I was actually just taking inventory of my shoe shelf the other day. Taking inventory, I was just looking over what I still have up there. See if there's anything I wanted to do price-wise to like drop any of those or anything. But anyhow, I saw these and I was like, these are never going to sell. And then they sold, so I'm very happy. The brand is Roxy. These are from the bins. They sold for $17.95, so not huge, but I think that's great. Got a bundle, box H and CT. I see something else in box H that I sold, but I could not grab it yet. So we'll go with this one first. So this bundle is a women's Title IX t-shirt, and then the brand Carved Designs corduroy shorts. This bundle sold for $53.12, which I think is great. I think I got these from Whatnot, so let's say around $5. This one I know I did not get at the bins, but I do remember it was only like a couple bucks at a regular thrift, so I probably have no more than $10 total into both of these. Yeah, so $53.12 is great. Carved Designs is such an interesting one to me because I used to love it. It used to sell, like this pair sold really good. The corduroy shorts seem to do well, but some of the other pieces not so much anymore. I have a couple board shorts listed that haven't sold, but these just sold in a few days, so I don't know. I still like it. I usually still pick it up if it's cheap enough. All right, they are. Pretty basic Nike Pro t-shirt from, not from the bins. This one I got from Whatnot, and it sold for $17 with discount shipping, so I'm probably just about doubling my money on that one. DH. Got another Talbot's item. This was a small size, so somebody offered me 10 and I did accept, I think because it was a size small. Usually Talbot's like novelty prints do pretty well. I thought I could get at least 20, and maybe I could have, but a very lightweight shirt from the bin. Someone offered 10, so I did accept. Okay, AF. Sold this brand a few times now. It's Love Fitness. The other pairs I've sold have like pineapple print all over them, and those ones have done a tad bit better, but every time I've sold it, it's sold quickly. So this pair's from the bins. It's just a basic plain purple. Somebody offered me 19, so I did accept that. Okay, DP. All right, we got some SAS shoes. I remember finding these, like one of the first reels I ever made, which was probably well over a year ago. I found these, I think, for $10. Did I write down the cost? I wrote down $10. So I thought these would sell for like 40 plus, and quickly they did not, because it's been over a year, and they finally sold for $22.76. So probably not even quite doubling my money. I don't know. Some SAS still do really well, some do not. So I'm just really selective each time I find a pair now. CS. Well, you can't tell me Talbot's is not a good selling brand, because I also sold this pink polka dot Talbot shirt. I don't remember if this is from the bins or from Whatnot, but it sold for me on eBay for $15.16. Right, D. This is from the bins. It's a pair of Jambu sandals, and they sold on eBay for my full list price, $14.95. DO. Got a Chico's item. This one I believe is from Whatnot, and this sold on Posh for $20 with discount shipping. So again, probably just about doubling my money here. CY. What was I looking for? Torrid. Pair of Torrid wedges. These are from the bins. They sold on Posh. Someone offered me 20 bucks. BD. Pair of Skechers sandals from the bins. These ones sold, somebody did not offer. These sold on eBay $18.96. So not too bad. BZ. This I don't know anything about. I just bought it because it was new at Tag at the Bins. I believe it's Mackay Beach. It's like a little wrap cover-up thing. And it sold on eBay for $11.36. CV. We got Duluth Trading Co. Very basic black long sleeve, like a ribbed shirt. This is from the bins. Someone offered $16 on Poshmark. Pair of men's Craftsman pants, new at Tag. These are from the bins. They sold on eBay for $19.35. CA. Got a Vineyard Vines Boys Windbreaker. This was both of my sons, and I don't remember where I bought it, but I'm probably not making any profit, but making some money back. It sold on eBay for $15.15. Alrighty, last sales in BG. All right, this you guys saw me find from Plato's last week or two. It sold in just a day or so of being listed, the Taylor Swift t-shirt. So Plato's had it priced at $14. However, I did use some of the credit that they gave me for the bins items I brought them that day. So my actual cost of goods was not $14, but had I found this for $14, I still probably would have bought it because it did sell, like I said, in one day for $47 on Poshmark. So that still would have been at least doubling, even a little more than doubling my money. So alrighty friends, that's all I have for today. I'm gonna run these upstairs, get them all packed up into the post office, pick up the boys from school, take them to Taekwondo, and then probably edit this video while I sit there waiting for them. So hopefully you are seeing this on Tuesday. So happy Tuesday. And yeah, the rest of the week, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing. That's kind of how being self-employed is. So I'll be doing something reselling related. My office is kind of a tornado again, so it probably will involve some work in there. Maybe we'll head up to my guest room at some point and try to work through those piles. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that unknown stuff for now. And I did want to thank you guys so much for all of the positive comments on the last video that I put out. So those comments meant a lot to me. I was a little anxious putting out that video to begin with, but I'm glad I did. So thank you guys all for watching, and I will catch up with you in the next one. Bye friends.